2, 3.
Kai-Tak Sports Park welcomes Hongkongers with a star-studded opening ceremony. Financial Secretary Paul Chan says its proposal to implement a boundary fee on private cars heading north and freeze civil servant pay shows the government's determination in achieving a fiscal balance. And a meeting between U.S. President Donald Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky ended in disaster after a heated exchange of words. Good evening. You're now watching Cable News. I'm Cheryl Yun. Tonight, Hong Kong was lit up by the spectacular grand opening ceremony of the Kai-Tak Sports Park, the largest sports and entertainment complex in the city, as it officially came into use after almost 5 years of construction and preparation work. Jeremy Zhu tells us more.
Welcome to Kai-Tak Sports Park.
From coming up with the idea to build the largest sports complex in the city to project completion, the $31.9 billion Kai-Tak Sports Park, which is the world's second most expensive project of its kind, saw its official grand opening after almost 2 decades.
Tonight is a grand occasion, the opening of Kai-Tak Sports Park, the largest sports, entertainment, and mega event complex in Hong Kong's history. Today, we are witnesses to a state-of-the-art new stage for Hong Kong. And like this very stadium's retractable roof, the sky is the limit. From snooker, the Hong Kong Rugby Sevens, to football, the upcoming sports events are sure to delight all on and off the pitch. And you can count on scores of concerts by top singers and bands from home and abroad.
The ceremony featured a spectacular showcase of performances that brought to life the rich history of Kai-Tak through large-scale dance, sports displays, and musical acts. Notable performers included local diva Joey Yong, mainland pop singer Li Yuchun, Hong Kong singer and actor Michael Cheung, Olympic fencing queen Vivian Kong, and action movie star Donnie Yen. Other athletes from the Hong Kong team and national team were also presented, performing and interacting with the spectators. To ensure the best possible presentation for viewers, the ceremony was not broadcast live. Jeremy Zhu, Cable News.
Government officials carried on with their busy schedule to further explain the latest budget proposal, which has stirred some controversies, including the boundary facilities fee for private cars exiting Hong Kong. Financial Secretary Paul Chan noted that the proposal follows the user pays principle, with specifics still open for discussion. Evelyn Bai reports.
能夠自己開車上去都係能力比較好，經濟能力比較好嘅。
Speaking on the iCable News program Let's Talk, Financial Chief Paul Chan emphasized that the boundary facilities fee does not aim at discouraging Hongkongers from heading north. He believed that northbound travelers should generally be in a better economic position, and it is fair to follow the user pays principle in this sense. He added that the impact is relatively minor because private car travelers account for only about 15% of northbound passengers. The Finance Secretary refrained from giving further details on how they discussed the proposal with mainland authorities. Regarding the public concerns about the social benefits for the elderly being reduced, while civil servants would take a pay freeze rather than cuts, Chan defended this decision, saying that the topic has been discussed with Chief Executive John Lee. Given the expected economic growth and rising salaries in the private sector, pay freeze is an appropriate measure. Meanwhile, the budget proposal aims to reduce the number of civil service positions from 190,000 to 180,000, even though the number of public servants is currently 170,000. Chen said, by cutting departmental expenses, the government will limit hiring staff under short-term contracts, with further reviews in the next budget. Evelyn Bai, Cable News.
In light of a budget deficit, the finance chief also elaborated on the government's distinct management of its accounts, asserting that the pursuit of a balanced budget should not hinder the development of the northern metropolis. Jeremy Zhu reports.
The budget proposal suggests separate management for the government's operating and capital accounts. The operating account will cover tax revenues and daily expenditures, while the capital account funds infrastructure investments. It only stated that the former one should be aimed to achieve a surplus.
Talking
to iCable News, Finance Secretary Paul Chan clarified that this was not a new interpretation of Article 107 of the Basic Law, which requires fiscal prudence. Instead, he compared the operating account to a worker's income account, needing careful budgeting for surplus, and the capital account to a mortgage, where large investments are paid over time. He added that capital funds rely on land sales and property market revenues, but with current market challenges, recovery will take time, creating short-term cash flow gaps. To address this, the government will issue bonds. Over the next 5 years, the bond issuance scale will increase to between $150 to $195 billion annually, targeting opportunities in the northern metropolis development. Chen stressed that the public should not focus solely on the financial returns of infrastructure projects. Instead, they should consider broader benefits, including job creation and economic stimulation. He also dismissed concerns about a potential shift toward big government, highlighting the importance of balancing governance with market efficiency, which he described as a global trend. Jeremy Zhu, Cable News.
Amid critics over the proposed monthly cap and reduced discounts to be applied to the city's decade-old $2 transport subsidy scheme, Labour and Welfare Secretary Chris Sun defended the reforms as necessary to ensure fairness and fiscal sustainability, while dismissing calls for age-based exemptions as confusing. Quentin Yang reports.
The overhaul of the fare concession scheme, set to launch by September 2026, replaces the flat $2 fare for eligible groups with a 20% discounted fare and imposes a monthly cap of 240 subsidized trips. The move aims to help save $6 billion in public money over a 5-year period, but has sparked backlash from advocates who argue it unfairly targets low-income seniors. Welfare Secretary Chris Sun, however, pushed back against calls to exempt those aged 65 and older, warning that age-based distinctions would create confusion. Imagine a couple, the husband is 65, the wife is 63. If they pay different fares for the same bus ride, people will ask why, he told a radio program emphasizing simplicity. The public expects a clear, unified system. To address transparency concerns, Sun revealed the government is working with Octopus Card Limited to upgrade fare checking systems. Users will soon see real-time updates on remaining subsidized trips, a bit to ease frustrations over the new trip limits. The subsidy overhaul coincides with wider austerity measures, including a 7% cut to recurrent government spending by 2027-28. Sun acknowledged the pressure on welfare providers, announcing a Monday meeting with 170 social organizations to discuss doing more with less. Quentin Yang, Cable News.
Meanwhile, Secretary for the Civil Service Ingrid Yeung said the scale of civil servants' pay freeze is unprecedented, signaling the government's commitment to managing fiscal pressures. During a briefing at the central government offices, Yeung shared the details of a reinforced version of the fiscal consolidation program with over 200 colleagues. As part of the measures to contain expenditure, around 10,000 government positions are set to be eliminated by April 1, 2027. She emphasized the necessity of strictly controlling government expenditure, urging public servants at all levels to actively support and cooperate with these measures. Yeung also highlighted the importance of reviewing work procedures and leveraging technology to deliver high-quality public services in a cost-effective manner. In other news, acclaimed local singer-songwriter Khalil Fong has passed away at the age of 41, his music label revealed today. Announcing the sad news, Fu Music said Fong left the world peacefully on the morning of February 21st after a 5-year battle with an undisclosed illness. The music and graphic novels he gifted to the world remain an eternal testament to his luminous spirit, a timeless treasure for generations to come, it said. Sources said Fong once suffered from a collapsed lung and endured repeated hospitalizations with little improvement. He had stepped back from the spotlight since 2016 due to health issues and only made a comeback last October with his final album, The Dreamer. Just a week before his passing, he took to social media and promoted the music video for a new song. Born in Hawaii in 1983 and raised in Shanghai and Hong Kong, Fong was hailed as Hong Kong's R&B pioneer. 2 traffic accidents involving elderly victims today. Tragically, an 84-year-old woman died after being hit by a green minibus in Pok Fu Lam. The incident took place around 8 a.m. on Chi Fu Road. The minibus traveling downhill failed to stop in time and hit the elderly woman near Chi Fu Fa Yun Tennis Court. Suffering severe head injuries, the victim was rendered unconscious and later pronounced dead at Queen Mary Hospital. The minibus driver was arrested on suspicion of dangerous driving. In a separate incident around noon, another minibus struck a 71-year-old woman in Chun Wan while making a turn from Tai Ho Road to Yeung Uk Road. The impact caused various items, including paper boxes, to scatter across the road. The woman, also left unconscious with a head injury, was promptly taken to Princess Margaret Hospital. In one of the most astonishing moments at the White House, a meeting between U.S. President Donald Trump and his Ukrainian counterpart Volodymyr Zelensky ended in disaster as both leaders started shouting and questioning each other. U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance said Zelensky had not shown enough gratitude for American support in Ukraine's war with Russia. Sachin Kadvi reports.
Speaking to reporters outside the White House before heading to Florida, Trump told the media that Zelensky does not want peace.
I'm looking for peace. We're not looking to go into a 10-year war and play games. We want peace. We're not going to keep fighting. You're going to get the war done or let them go and see what happens. Let them fight it out. Either we're going to end it or let him fight it out. And if he fights it out, it's not going to be pretty. Because without us, he doesn't win, let me tell you.
Earlier, the meeting in the Oval Office between Trump and Zelensky started off with the usual pleasantries. But things started taking an ugly turn when Vance said that America was going to end Ukraine's war with Russia through diplomacy.
He's not speaking loudly. Your country's in big trouble. Wait a minute. No. You've done a lot of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not winning. You're not winning this. You have a damn good chance of coming out okay because of us. We gave you, through this stupid president, $350 billion. We gave you military equipment. If you didn't have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3 days. I heard it from Putin. In 3 days. This is something
maybe
new.
Less.
In 2 weeks. Of course, yes.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this, I tell you.
Trump and Zelensky were expected to sign a critical minerals agreement and give a press conference. But the Ukraine leader left the White House in a rush. Sachin Kadvi, Cable News.
The triathlon test event for the forthcoming National Games later this year concluded successfully at the Central Harbourfront this morning. A total of around 110 athletes from Hong Kong, Macau and the mainland are taking part in the 2-day event, which started today. The women's individual race commenced with a 750-meter swim from Wan Chai, where the water was relatively calm. Cycling in loops around Golden Bohemia Square, members of Team Hong Kong were in the top 10. Shandong's Yang Yifan was unchallenged for the last 5 kilometers and finished first in 1 hour, 2 minutes and 9 seconds. The SAR's Tatula Wright was 5th, followed by teammate Choi Yan-yin. Another Shandong native, Zhang Shi-rei, won the men's race, finishing in 55 minutes and 56 seconds. And that's our news tonight. I'm Cheryl Yun. Thanks for watching and good night.